Here's a little something I've been aiming to post for quite some time, really. This right here is my first ever experience with a honeybee whatsoever. In other words, you know, my grandfather had beehives and all like that, and I was around when he was doing things with them. But as far as my own personal experience with them, this is it. And I did all of this by myself. So rather than, well, actually, I believe I did. I believe I did pre-order a package a couple days before this. This was April the 14th, 2012. But then I set into doing this, and I'm glad I did. This is probably about the best way to start with honeybees it is, because when you get done with something like this, you will you'll either love them or you'll hate them. But looking back on this thing, this hive had swarmed. It was April the 14th of 2012. Was a real hot late winter. This hive had swarmed. There wasn't an egg one in it, and it was just loaded with queen cells. But I didn't know what I was doing. If you look at the population in this thing, I could have made about I could have started about five frame nukes with everything that was, you know, with all the resources in this hive, and brought them to the house and let them get mated. And I mean, I would have been set, buddy. I'd probably be about twice, 3 times the size I am now, you know, as far as hive count and all that stuff. If I'd have known what I was doing, because this thing was loaded with queen cells, I could have just took my pick. Needless to say, I lost this line, and that's a sad thing, because this hive right here, this is my great-granddaddy's house. This thing is built in 1902. There's been bees in this wall right here all of my life. I'm 32. But anyway, what I was going to get at with this, if you look at that center stud right there, these are rough cut. That's a rough cut 4x4. That's a true 4 inches by 4 inches. If you look to the left of that, this thing acts like a queen excluder. That rough cut 4x4 goes down right beside the old rock chimney. Alright, the entrance is just to the side of the rock chimney, which is directly behind that 4x4, and we're in the upstairs floor right here. Just a little bit below where you see that 45 2x4 going down. Straight through that 4x4, that's where the entrance to the hive is. So the brood ended up over here on the right completely. And the left side never had a cocoon or anything spun in it. Looking back on it, of course, I understood that. I kind of understood it then, but now I really get it. But I thought that was interesting. They used that strictly for honey stores. And they were just about dry right here. Anyway, I'm going to start playing this little baby now. Mainly Italian colored bees. Like I said, if I'd have had just a thimble full of sense when I opened that thing up, I could have come out way ahead with that thing. I know it would have made 4 splits, as you see the population, plenty of them. But it's probably a right good sized swarm came off that thing too. But anyway, yeah. So that's my that's how I got started, and that's where I got started. Kind of glad I hung on to that little clip. Alright, well, that's that.